Manchester United 2, Everton 2, probably the most confusing game of United's pre-season tour so far. Confusing because there was moments where it was really good and it looked bright and positive again, like we've seen in the other games. But confusing because there was also a lot of bad stuff as well. Stuff which looked quite familiar, quite similar to what we saw for a lot of last season. So a bit of a weird game that we're going to try and explain in this video. Now, I think actually what made this match even more confusing for Manchester United was that our strength was also our biggest weakness, and that was speed. So what do I mean by that? How can speed be our biggest strength but also our biggest weakness at the same time? Well, let's start off with the positive. We saw it for the first goal when Manchester United moved the ball forward quickly. We're incredibly dangerous. And it actually came from a situation which looked quite similar to a lot of our goal kick moments, where we've got the centre-back in midfield, we've got the two centre-backs splitting either side, and we've got the wing-backs dropping deeper. And of course, in this game, we had Ahmad in the right wing-back position, and we know that he is left-footed. Something that we spoke about a lot when Amorim was first appointed as the manager was the weak-footed wing-back. You can go back and check my channel. We spoke a lot about this, how having a left-footed player on the right-hand side allows you to get back inside the pitch. And United used this to really good effect on the first goal. Because what we did was we drew Everton onto us. We played the ball out from the back initially. We were playing short, and the opposition came onto us. Everton were looking to press high. What United then did very well, though, was move the ball outside of the pitch, drew Everton onto us, and then we punched the ball back inside. The pass from Ahmad inside the pitch was absolutely fantastic. Now, in terms of the sustainability of that sort of ball, the longevity, I'm not too sure. It's a difficult pass to get right every time. The execution is difficult. Is it going to be a consistent solution for United? I'm not too sure. But what's more important is that the consequence, what we see at the end of it. When Manchester United do move the ball quickly, we look so dangerous. This was Mbeumo's first game for United, his first football in a long time, but he looked dangerous straight away. You could immediately see the technical quality, the softness with the way that he was passing compared to what we've had in the past, but also his ability to run at the opposition and run in behind and be a threat. We've seen Cunha already for United, what he can bring to the team when he's operating at top speeds, but also Bruno Fernandes. We know he's a creative player. We do have Ahmad who can get forward. So Manchester United, when we move the ball forward, whether that be from goal kicks or in open play or in counter-attacking situations, we look incredibly dangerous. And I think what we're learning as preseason goes on is that Manchester United are returning to being a good transitioning side. By the way, could I just quickly ask you guys to subscribe, please? We are desperately hunting 75,000 subscribers. Every time I set a goal, you guys absolutely smash it. So the next one is 75k. Please and thank you. So far, we have seen the positive of Manchester United moving the ball quickly at speed. It allows us to quickly get at Everton and hurt them. And I think in moments, particularly in the first 45 minutes, we did that very effectively. However, at the start of the video, I also said that was a weakness, which is a little bit confusing. So let me try and explain it. When you move the ball at high speeds, you also move the players at high speed, right? So let's say you're playing the ball out from the back, you move the ball quickly, your players also move quickly. So, lose my voice a little bit, you'll see someone like Bruno Fernandes make an early run forward. You might see Mbeumo running behind, or the wing-backs taking up more advanced positions. If you're moving the ball quickly, your players also move quickly. However, if your players are moving quickly, that means you are potentially leaving gaps. If you are also moving the ball quickly, you are more likely to make an error, right? Taking 10 minutes to play a pass is much easier than taking a tenth of a second to play a pass. So when Manchester United open up and look to play this really quick football, there are moments where it goes wrong because we are losing the ball, we are playing quick, risky football, and it's sort of high risk, high reward. We've seen the reward already, it can be very dangerous. But when it goes wrong, the risk is there. And there are too many moments still where Manchester United are losing the ball. Amorim made a comment at half-time in those weird half-time interviews that the managers are doing about United not sustaining attacks. And that was something that I pointed out even the game against Bournemouth, where we played very well. United aren't sustaining attacks. We aren't suffocating the opposition. So yes, when we move quickly through the pitch, we look great. But at the moment, it feels a little bit like that is our only way to move. There isn't a tempo change. I think football matches really flow. You go through high moments and slow moments and high moments, and it sort of flows through the game. United don't have that. It's 100 miles an hour, which is great. We love the intensity. It's fun to watch. When it comes off, the football is really exciting. Better than what we had last season. But surely you can't play every football match at 100 miles an hour. There's a moment where you need to get your foot on the ball, you need to slow it down, and you need someone that you can rely on to do that. And United didn't have that in this game. We know that Kobe at this moment in his career isn't that sort of player. And as for Ugarte, he had a really bright game in preseason just 1 week ago. This one was terrible. Very, very bad. And I don't want to be too harsh on him, but when you have a central midfielder playing that poorly on the ball, giving it away a lot in this game, it's a problem. And it comes from Manchester United having so many forward-thinking instincts in the team. Mbumo is a player who quickly wants to move forward. Cunha is a maverick style footballer who wants to make things happen. Bruno is the same. Ahmad likes to move the ball forward. Kobe likes to move the ball forward. Even Ugarte, we saw it for one of the goals, is trying to be overly aggressive with what he's doing on the ball. And the problem is for United, that blend doesn't feel quite right still at the moment. We've spoken regularly about trying to get a different midfield profile in, and I personally still feel that we need that calmer head who does sort of run the game a little bit better without running. Someone who's a little bit slower and stops things and slows things down for United. We need that ability to, yes, up the tempo. Fantastic. But it has to come down again sometimes. And I think what we're learning more and more during preseason is right now we don't have that. Now, whilst we may not possess the ability to really change the tempo of a game and manage it and go through the highs and lows, what we are seeing is that United have a really interesting, unique tactical weapon. Unique because we play in the 3-4-3 formation and because of the profile of players that we are using in certain positions. In particular, the 2 wing-back roles and the 2 inside forward roles in this match. The thing that we notice is that on the left-hand side, Diogo Dalot and Bruno Fernandes, we've got 2 right-footed players, Dalot and Bruno. If we go to the right-hand side, let me make sure I say that properly, we've then got 2 left-footed players, Ahmad and Bryan Mbumo. And the reason this is unique is because most teams don't have this. Normally a team will have a left-back who will be left-footed and a right-back who will be right-footed. So for United, this is quite different. We've seen already for the first goal how that can be beneficial. Ahmad playing the ball inside the pitch. What we also get, though, is that as the team moves forward, we have players whose instinct is to move back inside. And that's what we lacked at times last season. We got stuck a lot last year. We struggled to progress the ball through the middle of the pitch. That was a big problem for us the whole season, pretty much last year. What we've seen in pre-season, and it continued in this game, is that we've got players that instinctively want to move inside onto their stronger foot, as all players do. They want to get the ball on their stronger foot. And for these guys, that happens to be inside the pitch. Is that coincidental, or is that Ruben Amorim making a tactical decision? We don't know just yet. We'll have to see a little bit in the future. But what it certainly gets and provides is the ability to move inside. And that's something that United need. We know from a tactical point of view, we've got 4 players in there. We've got the 2 midfielders. We've got the 2 10s. In this game, we had a centre forward who also wanted to drop off as well. If we've got so many bodies in there, let's go and use them. Let's go and explore those parts of the pitch. And that is something that continues to impress me in pre-season. It's far from perfect, of course. But what I have been impressed by is United's improvement in moving the ball through the centre of the pitch. Again, last season, we just didn't do it anywhere near enough. And I want to do a separate video on this in terms of how we're getting into these positions, because I think it's good to see. I think it's important to see that we can move the ball in the middle of the pitch. It makes us more dangerous. In the middle, quite simply, we're closer to goal. And when you've got Mbumo, Cunha, Bruno closer to goal in the middle of the pitch, you increase your chances of scoring, of winning penalties if you're moving into the final third. But rather than out wide, actually in the penalty area, you're more likely to get those situations where you might draw a foul and win a penalty, or you might get a shot from a better position. So again, the speed sometimes needs to change in terms of how we manage it. But I do like that we are finding that ability to come back inside, because I think with players like Kobe who can split the lines, Cunha who can carry the ball, Bruno with his passing always, I think we've got something there, and we're finally starting to use it. Now, the final thing that I want to discuss in this match and in this video is Manchester United off the ball, because in pre-season we have been discussing Manchester United using the 4-4-2 pressing shape, and in this game it was similar. But I have a question to you guys in terms of, is there a way that we can do this better? Because for me, the profiles didn't always make sense in this game, and it was a concern I had at the end of last season. So it's all about how United get to the 4-4-2 based on who we've got on the pitch. The shape itself is fine, but when you look at the individuals where they're playing, something doesn't quite add up. So we've got Cunha and Mbumo playing as the front 2. They are sort of our 2 strikers out of possession. They play as the front 2. Bruno Fernandes drops to the left-hand side. Dalot drops a little bit deeper, and the whole team shifts around. Now, like I said, the idea behind the shape is fine. We've spoken a lot about the 4-4-2, how it potentially allows United to go man-to-man a little bit easier, how it can be useful for us. Great, I love it. I think we need some work in terms of timing, spacing, of course. But let's just look at the profiles and the players that are playing in each position and whether or not it really suits them. Bruno Fernandes left midfield in a 4-4-2. Is that his best position in a high-pressing structure? Genuine question. Let me know what you think in the comments. Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back in a back four in high-pressing situations. Is that optimal? Is that the ideal solution? We saw in this game that physically United really struggled up against Beto, who is one of the more physical strikers, but it was a problem because we had realistically a fullback playing at centre-back. And then to finish it off at fullback, we had a centre-back, Lenny Yoro defending on the right-hand side. Now, again, I like the shape. I like the idea. I think these are positive steps. Us trying to do the right things. But are we getting there in the right way? That's my question to you guys. And the other question is, if not, what do we need to do just a little bit differently to tinker it, to take the same idea and improve it? So yeah, all in all, a pretty confusing performance from Manchester United. Definite positives in terms of when we move the ball quickly. I think we look very dangerous. I like that we're progressing centrally. Love that. It's great. Defensively, there's still question marks. Still a little bit too easy to play against. The nature of the goals sort of proves that. It seems like no matter what we do, we seem to make life easy still for the opposition. Whether that's with errors or positional issues or the structure, we're still a little bit too easy to play against. And in this game, we saw a different test, but an important test. So far in preseason, we've had it our way. We have been physical, we've been intense, and we've blown teams off the park. It's good to now have the other side of that. We've heard a lot about the improved mentality, the resilience, the togetherness in the squad. The true way to test that is actually with a more tricky game. So drawing 2-2 with Everton, where physically we actually struggled a little bit in this game, I think will be a good thing for Manchester United. I think it will be a good thing for Ruben Amorim and the players, as long as we take the lessons from it and hopefully improve in the future. But of course, that's the future. It's not really something that we can speculate too much about right now. United still need new signings. We all know that. I think everyone, like literally everyone, would agree. So we're going to have to wait and see if they come in. For now, I still think United are improving. There's definitely positives there. And Mbeumo getting his debut was great to see. We won a trophy. Lovely. Definitely still, though, some work to do this preseason campaign. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What is the next thing that we need to work on? What is the most important area for us to improve? Let me know what you think. And also, whilst you're there, if you could please leave a like and also subscribe, that would be fantastic. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.